Seth, welcome to Greenbelt, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Is this your first time at this festival?
It is, yeah, first time at this festival and having a great time.
Good man.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sight to have a music festival. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Life has kind of exploded for you, because I first met you, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, when I did a show with Steve Knightley down in Devon, and I was introduced to you, and it was your brother or your father or something after the show.
Father
After the show. And,
in Tavistock.
Yeah, and I was sort of told that, you know, this was the Lakeman family and it was all happening and to look out, and then suddenly it's gone nuts, isn't it?
Got busier, much busier than it was then, yeah. I was in the middle of writing a couple of records then, Kitty J and Freedom Fields, and I pretty much wrote them back to back, and then it exploded after I was nominated for a Mercury Prize back in 2005. But I mean, you know, we're busy at the moment, and we've got this new record that's doing well, Poor Man's Heaven, which came out about a month ago. You know, we've had a really packed summer, but it's a pleasure coming to this festival. We've seen all sorts of great stuff here so far. We'll
get there, talk about the festival in a sec. The transition from you playing down in Devon there, I know you were playing shows at like the small art centres and places, but it's gone nuts, you know. And how does that feel? Do you prefer the small places, or are you really enjoying getting out there and taking new wave folk to a much sort of bigger audience? Is there part of you when you're at there sometimes which wants to be sat in the pub with your mates? Well,
I still do that. You know, I'm quite happy and I enjoy doing that, because that's kind of where I've come from, is playing a fiddle in the pub, drinking maybe far too many pints, but you know, being quite intimate with other musicians in that way. Well, not that way. Careful. But you know, being close in a way that you can communicate through music, as you know. And obviously, when you're playing on bigger stages, I remember last year we played V Festival, and we played after the Sugar Babes on a big pop tent in front of 15,000 you know, teenagers really who'd never heard folk music.
Well, that's the real thing, because I was talking to my kids about you in the car the other day, and they said, oh, I said, Seth Lakeman is playing this weekend, have you heard of him? And they said, yeah, I think, you know, blah, blah. So what you're doing is that you're making folk music cool for my kids, which is a hell of a thing, because I'm never going to do that. So
I think that's a lot to do with marketing and the way it's, you know, the way it's presented, I guess.
But the fact that you're on after the Sugar Babes, Seth Lakeman, you know, playing the, you know, rock and roll fiddle and whatever it might be, but in a sense, you're kind of rewriting the story slightly here, don't you think?
Well, it's definitely pushing boundaries, isn't it? And I think, you know, a lot of those people wouldn't, or the kids wouldn't have been aware that a fiddle or a banjo or acoustic guitar is necessarily played like that. So, you know, hopefully it's opening their eyes, you know. And I think that's important, you know. So I think, you know, it feels really great. I mean, it's one of the best moments for me in my life so far as a musician, was playing that V Festival, and the response we got, it was mental.
And with the new record, do you think, what are you setting your sights on? Is there like, are you just enjoying the moment and running with it, or do you have a long-term plan? Do you think you can take it further? Do you think you can increase the audience size? You know,
I'm not sure how far we can actually take this in terms of numbers, because the next stage for us would be taking it to arenas, and I don't think our music would translate in arenas necessarily, unless we had some serious #1 hits internationally. But I don't think I'm that sort of writer either. I mean, they're pushing me in that direction, EMI as a label.
But when you look at, like, you can look at North America, and there are people doing what you do over there who are playing stadiums. You're thinking that, you know, you think.
I guess they are.
And I sometimes think we're doing this in the wrong country.
Maybe, yeah. You're right. Acoustic music over there is huge, isn't it?
Because you know, I've toured over there with people, and you see them, and they're playing, and they're doing what you do. And I sometimes think, gee, if Seth could get a bit of exposure, I'm sure you're working on that. But I just think, you know.
I think it's about the songs, isn't it? Really, I think it's down to that. If you get a couple of songs or a record that really people can relate to, you know, a universal message, I think that can then translate into an arena, because you get the masses who are into it. At the moment, thankfully, and I'm quite happy about the fact that we're still quite culty, and the following we've got are really dedicated music fans. So if it happens naturally, and you know.
Well, you've got I
think that's the way to go with it.
I think you've got a great attitude about it all. I want to ask you. So you're here on a tour bus, which means you're doing lots of festivals.
We're doing loads, sleeping in bunks here.
Yeah, you play, get on the bus, go to the next festival. You said you're going to Malawi. Did you say next?
Yeah, Malawi. We're going to play a festival over there, UNICEF charity festival. It's dance music and world music, and just lots of African artists getting together, and they invited me to go over. So I'm going to go over there for a week and just enjoy the adventure. I think it'll just be great.
You were just saying that you didn't know what jabs you needed to get. And I said, so, though you're a Greenbelt, you've got all these tents here supporting third world work. So I imagine if you walk into one and say, I'm going to Africa, what jabs? This is the place that...
I get a list when I...
Yeah, they'll say, you need this, young man. You know, one of them, one of them, one of them, one of them. You were at Cheltenham Racecourse. Are you a betting man?
I do actually back home. The point-to-points, back in Devon, there's quite a lot of them. Most of them aren't the greatest horses in the world or riders. No. But it's good fun doing it. It's a good day out.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Here at Greenbelt has had a tag over the years of being a sort of Christian festival, inverted commas, and it has that ethos as its base. I mean, I find it here that that it's Billy Bragg comes and plays, and so it's a place where people feel comfortable to go. Even there is a underpinning sense of faith here.
Absolutely.
And all the rest. Did faith play any part in your upbringing down in Devon? Did the church ever infiltrate the Lakeman hut?
It did a bit. My mother's family. My grandfather was a Methodist minister.
Was
so
he?
Yeah, so there was definitely an influence growing up, but I never embraced it necessarily. If anything, I kind of turned me against it.
Yeah, I can
in a way.
It often does that.
Yeah, it's kind of did with us three brothers.
Yeah.
My father was always a bit anti Methodism. Yeah.
So, and your mother was pro?
Kind of, not necessarily though.
Oh, sorry. Did you say your grandmother?
Yeah.
Your grandmother was.
My granddad.
Your granddad was. I'm sorry, I got that.
Yeah, and my grandmother actually, she was lecturing in theology in Cambridge. So they're quite intense.
Wow. Should get her a grandparents.
Yeah, she'd love it. She would love it. She's probably been here. I'm sure she has. But no, it didn't really play a part like that. Apart from growing up primary school and having that influence. But I mean, to be honest, walking around the festival, I didn't know what to expect when I came here. I spoke to Steve, our friend, Steve Knightley, who came here, and he said, it's a great festival. I've played Witchwood before, which is the same site, so I knew it's a great site. But actually, it's very different to what I thought it was going to be like. There's nothing in your face. No. It's all really nice. Some great music going on. The performance cafe. I mean, and at the moment, obviously, it's just a really nice environment. So
I know Michael Franti. I talked to him about it a few years ago, and then he came and. He literally said it was the most open expression of all this stuff that and he felt very comfortable. And I think that's great. I think that what they're trying to do is get more people to come here and get that feeling.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That they understand it. So, well, we're happy that you've graced us with your presence, buddy. And I'm sure you're going to have a fantastic gig on the main stage.
Absolute pleasure. I mean, it's great over there. It's a brilliant stage and stuff. So it's an honour to be here.
Right. There's gentleman Seth Lakeman. Good man, a good man.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
All right.